Hello lovelies, and welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you've come across my channel. Today I've got a really fun video for you. We are going to be doing an unboxing, some swatches, a tutorial, and initial review of a brand new box that just came out from Louise, and this is their fall collection box. It is so pretty. This is such a beautiful package, and I'm so excited to show you all of the beautiful products that are inside of this box. So I'm really excited to jump into this with you. This is my first time ever using any Louise product, so I'm really excited to show you how well they perform and my thoughts about this collection. So come along with me and let's make up the rules. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up our box. And so on the inside, we can see all of our products laid out in here. They are so pretty. I'm so excited to dive into each one of these. So we're gonna go ahead and pop each one of them out. We're gonna take some swatches and check out how they look. The first item from this collection we're gonna take a look at is the hand cream. This is a spiced maple hand cream. And so when you open it up, it's got just a little protective film on it. We'll go ahead and pop that off, and then we'll take a look. And it definitely smells like spiced maple. It is such a pretty smell. I'm really excited to try this one out. Because I am going to take some swatches, I don't want to put any hand cream on to affect the swatches from the eyeshadows and the blushes. So we'll take a look at that in just a little bit. The next part of the collection are going to be our blushes. These come in such pretty packaging, these nice cute little boxes. It's got the name of each shade on the top of them. And so we're going to go ahead and pop each of these out, and we'll take a look at them, and we'll take some swatches on my hand. The first Smitten Stick, I love that name, that we're gonna look at is called Harvest Blush, and this one is the lightest shade. So it comes out in a tube like this. It's just a very nice light kind of brown shade. So let's go ahead and take a swatch on the back of my hand. It is really creamy and really buttery when it goes on. That is super, super pretty. It's definitely a little bit more pigmented than I thought it would be. It's got a nice kind of orange shade to it, so that is so beautiful. The next one is called Cozy Season, and this one is gonna be our medium shade. It's a little bit darker, a little bit more of that kind of mid-tone brown. And you can definitely see it's a little bit darker as we swatch it on the hand, and it is the same quality. It is nice and buttery. They smell really good. They have just kind of a nice light kind of sweet smell, almost kind of like butter. So they are really pretty. And then the last one is called Falling For You. This is the darkest shade, and it is such a beautiful color. So these are incredibly pigmented. They definitely won't take a lot. So I'm really excited to try those out on the cheek and get to see how they perform as we're putting together a look for today. Next, we're gonna take a look at the Once Upon a Line Fireside Pencil Trio. These are eyeliner pencils or crayons. They come in such a beautiful box. The packaging on this entire collection is so cute. So let's go ahead and pop these out and take a look at each one and take some swatches. So here are the eyeliner pencils. They are super cute. Each one of them says Once Upon a Line on one side and then P. Louise on the other. They actually do not say the shade names on the actual eyeliner pencils, but on the back of the box it has each of the three names with a heart next to it that's colored. So I think based on this, this one that's sort of a metallic, I think that one is called Maple Drip. This lighter brown is called Get Toasty. And then this one is called Would You Be Mine, W-O-O-D. So those are such cute names. So I'm really excited to go ahead and try these out and swatch them on the hand. So I'm gonna kind of go backwards from how I just read those. So the darkest brown, that Would You Be Mine, it comes in a retractable pencil like this. And this is, like I said, gonna be the darkest brown. So I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch that on the hand. That is really, really pretty. It is a nice, deep, dark brown shade. And so that is perfect for any kind of fall look that we wanna put together. The next one was called Get Toasty. This one is a little bit of a lighter brown shade. Let's just put this right next to it, and you can definitely see it's got a little bit more of a warmth to it than the Would You Be Mine. And then the last eyeliner is called Maple Drip. This is the one I'm most excited about. This is a beautiful metallic brown shade, so I'm really excited to go ahead and try this one out and see how this one swatches. And that is so pretty. It's got a nice little shimmer to it. It's absolutely gorgeous swatched on the hand. I'm really excited to try this one. I'm definitely thinking it would be a really cool color in the waterline on the bottom. I think that would add a really cool pop and effect to any look that you create. So I'm in love with these eyeliner pencils. I think they swatch really, really beautifully, and I'm really excited to get to try them out with our look. So now let's go ahead and check out the last item in this collection, and then we'll get into our look for today. Of course, we saved the best for last, and now we're going to take a look at the beautiful eyeshadow palette. It comes in such a gorgeous package. This is the front and this is the back of it. They are so, so pretty, so I'm really excited to try this out. This is just the outer sleeve, so I'm going to go ahead and pop it out and let's take a look at the actual eyeshadow palette. And here is the eyeshadow palette itself. It is so cute. It comes in a spiral bound kind of notebook look. I think that is so cute, especially for fall, that kind of back to school season. So this is so, so cute. The packaging is so stunning and shimmery. I absolutely love it. And then when you pop it open, it does have a protective sleeve in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that out. And then it's got a mirror on one side. It's so cute. It goes with the packaging, and then here is our color story. And I'm gonna go ahead and flip this closed so we can really take a look at all of these beautiful shadows. And this is so, so cute. I love all of the colors, and the shimmers in here are so sparkly and so pretty. They catch in the light beautifully. So I cannot wait to go ahead and take some swatches of these. I think they are absolutely gorgeous, and I'm really, really excited to see how they perform on the skin. So let's go ahead and jump into those swatches. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump into this first row of shadows right here for our swatches. They are so pretty. I'm really excited to dive in. I hate to mess up the beautiful embellishments that they have. Each one has such a pretty little embellishment to show off the look for that eyeshadow, but I'm so excited to try these out. The first one is going to be called Wrapped in Warm. And this is a beautiful shimmery green. We are starting out already with so much pigment on just that first one, so that is so pretty. The next one is called Spice It Up. And this is a beautiful kind of really deep dark green, kind of a forest green. That is so pretty. The next one is called Shroom Bloom. I love these shade names. I love the shades. They are so pretty, perfect for fall. That is a nice, beautiful kind of lighter green. Really, really pretty. The next one is called Leave Me Breathless. And I think this one probably will. It is so beautiful and shimmery. Wow. That is absolutely stunning. I hope you can see that on the camera, because that is such a beautiful kind of warm light brown kind of shade. It is so, so pretty and very, very shimmery and sparkly. So I'm so excited about these. Let's go ahead and dive into that second row. And next we are going to dive into these 4 shades right here. They are so pretty. I'm really excited about this first shimmer here. This first one is called Raindrop Romance. And that is so pretty. It looks like a little bit of a duochrome, maybe a little bit of green and a little bit of gold. Perfectly catches in the light. That is so stunning. The next one is called Turning Leaves, and this is going to be another matte shade, just a nice kind of light green. Let me add just a little bit more for us. That is very, very pretty. These are such stunning colors. The next one is called Take the Fall, and this one is going to be a little bit more of an olive green than that last shade, a little bit deeper and richer. That is very, very pretty. And the last one on this row is going to be called Chestnut Crumble. And this one is kind of a deep brown shade. It's got just a little bit of glitter in it. Let me stretch this out for us so you can see. Very, very pretty. These are swatching beautifully on the hand. Let's go ahead and take a look at the third row. Here on the third row, we are going to be getting out of those greens and a little bit into more of our orange and kind of rich, lighter, warmer shade. This first one is called Take My Breath Away. And wow, this is a beautiful kind of orange shimmer. Let me get a little bit more so you can really see the pigment on this shimmer. That is so, so stunning. It's so beautiful in the light. Very, very pretty. This one is called Fallen For You. And this is going to be a nice kind of light orangey, kind of almost peach-like shade. Very, very pretty. It is definitely great for a transition shade. It is probably the lightest one in the palette, and it definitely still has some really good pigment to it. So I'm really excited about how deep and beautiful these are. The next shade is going to be a little bit darker of a matte. This one is called Caramel Drizzle. And that is really, really pretty. It is a nice deep shade. And this last one on this row is called Candle Lit. And this one is going to be just a little bit deeper and a little bit warmer than that Take My Breath Away that we had up here. It is a little bit more on the orangey side. It is very, very pretty and very pigmented. So I'm really, really, really excited about these shades. So let's go ahead and dive into the next row. In the fourth row, we're going to be continuing on with these really warm, rich, orangey colors. So we're going to go ahead and dive into these. This first one is called Latte Dreams. It's going to be another beautiful shimmer. These shimmers are absolutely incredible. They are so, so pretty and pigmented. I'm really excited about these. This one's definitely a nice, beautiful, warm kind of shade. Let me go ahead and stretch it out just a little bit more for us. Very, very pretty, so pigmented. The next one is called Windswept Wonder. This is another matte in our palette. Very, very, very pretty and pigmented. It is a nice kind of rich orange shade. Next is Cozy Up Buttercup. I absolutely love the names in this palette. They are so, so cute. So perfect for fall. They just give you this nice kind of warm, cozy vibes. This is Cozy Up Buttercup. That is such a pretty, bright, vibrant orange shade. And the last one on this row is going to be called Crisp Twilight. Crisp Twilight is so pretty. It's another shimmer. It's definitely very deep and very pigmented. It's got some nice shine to it, and it is absolutely stunning. It's kind of almost a little bit of red to really pull into all of those fall leaves. So let's go ahead and take a look at the final row in this palette. In the fifth row of this palette, we're going to be finishing up with those orange shades and getting into some of those really dark, deep, kind of purpley burgundy type colors. So I'm really excited to try these out. This first one is called Touch Wood. And wow, this is a really, really pretty shimmer. Absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of got a little bit of orange and a little bit of red to it. The next one is called Autumn Puddles. Such cute names. This one is definitely getting a little bit more into those kind of burgundy and maroon, those really deep autumn colors. So let me get a real good swatch for us. Very, very pretty. That is absolutely stunning. Next is called Chill. It's fall. And I love that name. That's so cute. This is a really nice, deep, almost getting to brown, kind of a mixture of brown and purple kind of shade. Very, very pretty, very pigmented. And the last shade on this eyeshadow palette is called Pumpkin My Heart. And this one definitely is a little more brown leaning. It's got a little bit of shimmer to it. Very, very pretty. So these are all of our eyeshadows. There are so many shades to choose from. I don't know how we're going to pick some to create this look today, but I'm so excited. I don't think we can go wrong with any of them. They are so gorgeous. So we have just a few extra shades over here on the side that I do want to go ahead and swatch, and then we will go ahead and jump into our tutorial. So I've got my swatches all the way down my arm, and I've got some swatches on the back of my hand. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on my palm as we go through these four beautiful shimmery shades over here. I do want to point out, this is kind of funny, this first one here, if you can tell, they accidentally put it in upside down. So it says autumn and it's got a little scarf on it. I can even turn it the other way so we can see what it should actually look like. But it is funny, it is kind of upside down in the palette, but that's okay. I think the shimmer itself is going to be really pretty. So this one is called Spill the Pumpkin Spice. So we're going to go ahead and give this one a nice good swat. It is really, really pretty and shimmery. I'm just going to go ahead and pop this in my palm, make sure I've got a nice good grab of it so we can really see. It is beautiful and shimmery. I think this is going to be a great inner corner or highlight shade. So that one is gorgeous. The next one is called Cloud Cover, and this is a beautiful kind of shimmery orange shade. You can see it here. That is really, really pretty. It's got a little bit of almost a gold reflect in the light. The next one is called Up in the Air, And this one is really, oh, that's really pretty and iridescent looking. It is nice and kind of almost got like a mermaid kind of feel to it to me. Just kind of a beautiful sort of peachy kind of shimmery shade. These I think are definitely going to be great highlighters for sure. And the last one is called Toasty Treat. It is a nice, rich, warm orange. So that is it right there. Those are beautiful. They are so shiny, so shimmery. I am so in love with this entire palette. If we can see them all at one time on the screen. It is so, so pretty. I'm so excited to dive into this collection, try out the blushes, the eyeliners, and then of course all of the shadows from the palette. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our tutorial for today. I think for this fall look today, I do want to go ahead and create sort of an orange and green kind of inspired look today. So I went ahead and went in with my Ulta Beauty Pigment Pop Eye Primer, so our eyes are all primed and ready to go. And I'm going to start out with my Ulta Beauty Fluffy Blending Brush, and I think I'm going to dip into this lightest shade right here. This one was called Fallen for You, and I'm just going to pick some of this up on my brush and go ahead and use this as my transition shade. As we saw during the swatches, this one was definitely very pigmented. It was a really, really pretty color, and I think it's gonna be great just to go ahead and start getting some pigment on the eyes and just kind of create that transition, because I think want to kind of have more orange on the inner corner and then kind of smoke it out with some of those really deep, beautiful dark green shades. So I think for my next shade, I'm gonna go into this one right here. This one is called Windswept Wonder. Using that same brush, just go ahead and pick some up, and I'm gonna be starting kind of in the middle of my crease and bringing that more toward the center, just making sure everything is blended as we're moving to the outside. So I have less pigment on my brush as I move to the outer corner and more on the inner corner. Like I said, I want this to be more orange on the center and then green as we move outwards. So I'm gonna just really focus right now on that inner half of my crease, starting in the middle and then moving towards the inner part. And that is such a beautiful color. Those are blending together really nicely. Very, very pigmented. Everything that we swatched was so pigmented and so bright. So I'm really excited just to blend all of these together and see how they perform together. Next, we're gonna jump into this nice bright orange shade right here. This one was called Cozy Up Buttercup. Such a pretty shade, and I did pick up a little bit more on my brush than I meant to, so I'm gonna very, very gently just kind of disperse this between both eyes. And again, just keeping towards this inner half of my crease. That is so pretty. Those are beautiful together. Perfect to go with my orange turtleneck today. Perfect for fall. Absolutely stunning. So that is really, really pretty. So I think those are all the orange mattes that I want to go into. So let's go ahead and start getting into some green and really just kind of blending that into the outer corner. So I think to start out, I just kind of want to really play with all of these colors as much as we can. So I'm going to just use as many greens as we can, starting with this one right here. This one was called Take the Fall. I'm just going to use that same brush, just pick some up. I do want everything to be blended, so I'm just going to use that same brush. Even if there's a little bit of orange, that'll be okay. It'll all just kind of blend together. And those are so pretty. So I'm just putting this on the outer corner and just kind of blending it right in the middle where those two shades meet, those two mattes meet, the orange and the green. And I'm not going to put a whole lot because I do want to start layering on some other greens, so I'm just going to put one kind of layer of this green shade and then just kind of continue to blend as we go. So I'm going to continue to deepen up. I'm going to go into this shade right here. This one was called Shroom Bloom. And go ahead and really start to deepen and richen up. These are so pigmented, it really does not take very much product at all. I can just kind of pick a little bit up on my brush and kind of put it on both eyes, and it is plenty of product. So that's great. You definitely get kind of the bang for your buck, and you're able to get as much product out of these as you possibly can, which is always great for our purchases. The next shade I want to go into, I think, is going to be this darker green right here. This one was called Turning Leaves. And just continuing to deepen up this outer corner, I'm going to start pulling a little bit down into my actual eyelid with some of these darker greens and really just kind of blending. I am just making sure to just kind of use soft motions right here on the center of my crease, just to blend in that orange shade with the green shades. And I think they're blending very nicely. I really like how that's looking, just having kind of that ombre transition effect in the middle. So pretty, and definitely starting to get really deep. And we're gonna really deepen up with this darkest shade here. This one is called Spice It Up, and we are definitely gonna do just that. So we're just gonna grab a little bit of that on our brush and really just blend that right here into the outer corner and really give it a nice deep green smoky look. This is so pretty, absolutely stunning, and they blend together so nicely. You can definitely see they are very, very pigmented, but they are also very buildable and very blendable. So this is really turning out so stunning, perfect for fall. I'm really happy with how that looks. That is a beautiful, just very fall inspired smoky kind of look, but I definitely want to dive in with some of these beautiful shimmers and go ahead and really liven up the eyelids. So let me go ahead and pop on some glitter primer and I'll be right back and we'll add some shimmer. I went ahead and went in with my NYX glitter primer, so our eyelids are all primed and ready to go for some of these beautiful shimmers, and it is so hard to choose which ones I want to use, but I do think I'm going to go in with just a few and kind of create a nice ombre and definitely that transition between the orange and the green and really kind of make everything nice and cohesive. So I think for the very center, I'm really liking this shade right here. I think it'll be kind of a really good mixture of sort of that light green into the orange. I think it will really be a great kind of transition on the shimmers. So I'm gonna go in with my Ulta Beauty brush. This is just kind of a flat eyeshadow brush, and this one is called Raindrop Romance, and it is such a pretty shade. So I'm gonna grab just a little bit of this and go ahead and just pop it right here kind of in the center of the eyelid. It is so pretty and so shimmery. Look at that, just a little bit of product really goes a long way and really creates a nice beautiful shimmer that is so stunning. So I'm just going to kind of blend it up a little bit into the crease across the eyelid, just keeping it right there in the very center. So pretty. Wow. So that is absolutely gorgeous. I definitely want to create a little bit more of a transition going into those dark green matte. So I think I'm gonna let's try this one right here, this very first shimmer shade. This one was called Wrapped in Warmth, and I'm just gonna grab a little bit of this one on my finger, and I think this will be a nice good transition shade right here, just kind of using my finger just to blend into the matte and the shimmer that we have, just to really create that nice transition. And that is very pretty. It is definitely creating a good transition shade. So very nice. And those blend together beautifully. So that is really pretty. So now I want to start kind of moving a little bit more into those kind of richer and warmer shades as we move to the inner corner. So I'm going to dive into, let's go ahead and jump into this shade right here. This one was called Take My Breath Away. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of this. I'm just flipping over my brush and using the other side of it. So I've got a little bit of that other product on there, and then we can kind of blend. So I'm going to just apply this maybe on the second kind of third of my eyelid where I'm applying all my shimmer. It is so pretty, just creating a nice kind of transition. Absolutely stunning. These shimmers are so beautiful in this palette. I'm so excited to see how they are blending and performing on the eye. Very pretty. And I definitely don't want it to just kind of have stark lines, so I'm definitely just trying to kind of blend them together as we go, just kind of overlapping a little bit. And like I said, I'm using that same brush, so if I need to just kind of flip it over, grab some more of that Raindrop Romance and just kind of blend it back in, I can definitely do that as well, just kind of taking my time and just adding each shade and layering and just kind of blending as we go. So pretty. Absolutely shimmery and shiny on the eyelids. I'm absolutely loving this. The last orange shade that I want to go into on the eyelid is going to be this one right here. This one is called Candle Lit. I'm just going to use that same brush on that same kind of warmer shade that we were using, that Take My Breath Away. I'm just going to grab a little bit of this right on top of it and just put this right here on the very inner part of my eyelid. Just adding a little bit more orange and a little bit more warmth. So pretty. All of these shimmers are blending really nicely, especially because we're using different colors. We're using the orange and the green. I'm really impressed with how easily they just blend, and definitely this is a really good color story that all of the colors work together so nicely. Sometimes when you try to kind of create a look like this, the colors don't necessarily always kind of go together really well, but this is so cohesive and so pretty, especially those shimmers. They just melt into each other. So I'm really excited about how this looks. Now we're gonna go ahead and move to that lower lash line. I think for the lower lash line, I do want to go a little bit more into the browns and kind of those darker, more burgundy kind of colors, just so we can really try out more of this palette. So with an Ulta Beauty kind of large flat liner brush, I'm gonna go into this shade right here. This one was called Caramel Drizzle. It is a beautiful kind of light brown shade. I'm just gonna line that all the way under my lower lash line. And just blending it very gently up into that outer corner. This is such a pretty shade. It is perfect for fall. It definitely just kind of looks like a coffee you'd get at Starbucks. It is so pretty. Nice and rich and warm. That is so, so pretty. So we're gonna deepen it up a little bit more. We're gonna go into this shade right here. This one was called Autumn Puddles. I'm definitely starting to get a little bit more of those rich autumn vibes for sure. Just blending gently up into that outer corner. And just layering all of these shades onto each other, building them up, creating a nice, deep, rich autumn look. This is absolutely stunning. This look is so, so pretty. It is turning out beautifully. The next shade we're going to go into, this one right here. This one was called Chill. It's fall. And we are just going to add a little bit of this. I'm probably going to keep this a little more to this outer half. I'll probably just, as I'm losing product, just bring it just very gently towards the center, but I mostly want it really deep and building up on that outer corner. So I'm going to grab a little bit more here. And just really kind of patting it in and just blending it into those other shades just a little bit towards the center. That is so pretty. It is really just kind of bringing this look together. I think I am going to dip into this shade right here, that nice deep green, spice it up, and I'm going to use just a little bit of this right here in the outer corner just to really help create that transition between the lower lash line and the outer corner. Just so that way there's no really kind of stark lines. It's all nice and cohesive. Just kind of using my brush just to blend into this outer corner a little bit. And you can definitely see it starting to really create that transitional shade between the two. And so now it's a little bit more just kind of drawn together. So just kind of using circular motions, just kind of pulling up and blending into that outer corner and down into the lower lash line. So that is really pretty. Definitely creates a little bit more of a cohesive vibe between the two. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. That is so pretty. I think I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit more shimmer here on the inner corner. So I'm going to clean off my brush and I'll be right back. So I went ahead and cleaned off my brush, and now I'm going to go into this shade right here on the bottom corner. This one was called Touch Wood, and this is just a beautiful kind of bright orange shimmer. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this on the end of my brush, grab a little setting spray just to give it some nice, really strong pigment, and then we're just going to go ahead and pop this right here on the inner part of the lower lash line, just kind of blending into those mats, and that is really pretty. Just adding a nice little pop of shimmer to the lower lash line and really kind of pulling the orange and these kind of burgundy colors together. That is so, so stunning. That is such a beautiful shade there. So I think I am going to go ahead and also with that same brush, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this shade just a little bit as well. This one was called Crisp Twilight. And I'm going to just grab some of that on my brush, and I'm just going to kind of use that right here to sort of transition between that shimmer shade and the mattes, just because it is a little bit of a darker shimmer here. just to really create that transition. So that is so stunning. I'm absolutely in love with this look. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop off camera. I'm gonna add some eyeliner and some mascara and lip color, and then we'll be back and we'll add just a little bit of color on the cheeks and some highlighter, and I'll share some of my initial thoughts about this collection with you. And here's the finished eye look. It is so pretty how it turned out. I'm absolutely in love with this. I went ahead and went in with, of course, some of the eyeliners from this collection. The first one that I went in with, I believe this one was the Would You Be Mine, that really deep dark brown shade, and I tight lined across the top. And then of course I had to try out that Maple Drip, that beautiful shimmery eyeliner. So I went in with the lower lash line on this one. It is so pretty. It gave such a little sparkle to the bottom of my eye, and I'm so happy with how that turned out. And then to keep in with that fall vibe, I wanted to use some brown mascara today. So I went in with the Ulta Beauty Collection New Heights Lifting Mascara. This is in the shade Chocolate Brown, and this is so pretty. Gave just a nice little lift to my eyelashes and definitely went along perfectly with this look. And then for my lip combo today, I went in with my Ulta Beauty Automatic Lip Liner in the shade Chocolate, and I paired that with the Wet n Wild Alice in Wonderland collection lipstick. This is the shade Painted Roses. So I'm so happy with how the eye look turned out. I do want to go ahead and pop on just a little bit of blush and some highlighter from this collection. Try those out. We'll add a little bit of the hand cream as well just to try that out, and then I'll share some of my initial thoughts. I think for my blush today, I'm going to go in with that medium shade. This one was Cozy Season, and so it's just kind of a medium brown shade. I do know when we did the swatches, they were very, very pigmented. So I think I'm just going to go in with my Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and just really just kind of dip directly onto the blush stick, and then just kind of pop some of that onto my cheek, just so I don't have too much pigment on the face. And just really lightly kind of blend this in. That is so pretty. It is such a beautiful shade. Just very gently blending this in. Like I said before when we did the swatches, they are so soft and buttery. So it definitely just melts into the skin. It really just creates a nice, beautiful shimmer and shine on the face, and just kind of gives you a nice, healthy autumn glow. That is so stunning. Definitely very, very pigmented. And just going directly onto the stick with the brush and then taking it to the cheek, I think is the best way to go. Or even putting some maybe on the back of your hand and pulling it from there. But I think putting it directly onto your face from the stick would probably just be too much pigment all at one time. So I think doing it this way really helps just to kind of soften this look. That is so pretty. I definitely just wanted to go with the medium shade today just because we are still just kind of trying things out. And so I just really wanted to just kind of go as kind of neutral as I could, just to kind of match this really deep and dark look that we created, and really just kind of match the vibe that we have going on. So that is really, really pretty. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of highlighter as well. For my highlighter, I'm going to go back to the palette, and I think I'm going to dip into the second shade right here, just to add a little bit of color to the face. These were such beautiful shimmery shades as we were swatching them, so I think they're going to perform really well as a highlighter. This one was called Cloud Cover. I'm going to go in with my Wet n Wild Alice in Wonderland collection brush, just a small brush I usually use for highlighter, and just pick a little bit up and just gently just kind of sweep across the cheeks. And that is definitely very pretty, very shimmery and pigmented. So I'm really, really happy with how this looks as a highlighter. You can definitely see a lot of shimmer on the face. So I'm just going to put this all the high points on my face where I usually put my highlighter, right here across the top of my cheeks. I'm going to put a little bit on the center of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and on the tip of my nose. Just kind of blending back and forth. A little bit on my chin, and a little bit right here above my lip. That is the perfect highlighter shade for this look. It's got a little bit of gold, a little bit of orange. It is absolutely perfect for fall, and I'm so happy with how this look turned out. It is so pretty, so shimmery, and I'm so excited about this palette and this collection. And for the last part of this look, I'm going to go back into the palette and I'm going to dip into this lighter shade up here and add just a little bit of an inner corner highlight just to really kind of spruce up this look. So this color is called Spill the Pumpkin Spice. It is such a pretty shimmery shade. I'm going to give this a quick spritz of my setting spray. I've got this on a Real Techniques detailing brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and pop this right here on the inner corner. Just add a little bit of an extra glow to this look. I am really loving these 4 shades on the side that we swatched on my palm earlier, just those light kind of shimmery shades. They are so pretty. So I'm gonna pop just a little bit of this also along my brow bone just to give it a nice little highlight here as well. It's so pretty. And I'm loving that as an inner corner highlight. It is so shiny and shimmery. It really just helps to make this look pop. And that was definitely the last little bit that this look needed. So I am really happy with how this turned out. It is so pretty. It is so perfect for fall. So let's go ahead and just kind of talk about this collection overall. I'm so happy with how it turned out. This is such a pretty look. It is perfect for fall, and I'm just so happy with the makeup in this collection. And I know we mentioned earlier as we were going through all the items that there is a hand cream included. It comes with this super cute keychain on the top. It is so perfect for just when you're on the go. And so I just want to try a little bit of this out. I'm going to take my rings off and we're just going to go ahead and try out this lotion and just see how it performed. Like I said earlier, this is a spiced maple. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on my hand. It is a really cute kind of pink shade when you put it on your hands. And it is just very nice and smooth. It smells delicious. It definitely smells like spiced maple. It just gives that perfect kind of fall scent. So it is really pretty. It is very smooth and it feels nice on the hands as well. So I definitely wanted to just try out everything in this collection, give it a go. And so now I just want to be able to share some of my initial thoughts about the entire collection with you. So I just want to take a minute and just go through all of the items in this collection again. Let's start out just looking at the actual box that everything came in. It is so pretty. They were absolutely spot on with all of their details, the scarves, the leaves, everything. It is so shiny. It is just absolutely beautiful packaging. It makes you so excited when you receive it in the mail just to get to open up that box and see everything that's inside. So I really love just the packaging and the theming of this collection. It is absolutely perfect for fall. The colors of every product are perfectly suited for fall, and I just really was so happy with just being able to open up this box and get to see everything inside. So let's take a look at each of the items individually, and I'll just share some of my thoughts about them with you. So first, let's take a look at the So Smitten sticks, these little blush sticks. They are so pretty. The packaging is so stunning on them. I love they just come with a little plastic cap, and then they come in this nice little retractable stick that you're able to just get a little bit of product and apply it onto the cheeks with a brush. You can apply it with your finger, you can apply it directly, whatever works best for you. And then I love that they have 3 of them. So in this collection, there were the 3 different shades. They come in a light, a medium, and a dark. I think that's great that you can have a lot of versatility with your looks just from one collection, and the 3 different blushes that are included. They are just so buttery and they're so beautiful, and they are just so smooth when you put them on the skin. They really just melt into your skin. They are just absolutely just such good quality and such great product. Today in our look, we just went ahead and used that medium shade, the Cozy Season shade, and I thought it just really applied very well. It gave just a nice kind of light autumn look to this tutorial that we put together. So I really enjoyed using these blushes, and I thought that they were great quality. I would highly recommend these. Next, let's take a look at the eyeliner trio that came with this collection. I thought that these eyeliners were absolutely beautiful. They are the perfect shade to go in this fall collection. You've got a nice dark brown, a medium brown, and then this beautiful kind of metallic sort of orangey brown kind of caramel shade that is really perfect just to capture the season. And so as I mentioned earlier, I used the metallic shade and the darker shade in this look today, tight lining and using them in my waterline fun, and I think that they were really good quality. They provide a lot of pigment on your looks. I think they're really nice, and they definitely just have a really beautiful look to them. They are super smooth and buttery, similar to the blushes. When you put them on the skin, they apply really well, and so I definitely think these are the perfect addition to this collection, and they definitely help you to create a really beautiful look. The next product we'll take a look at was a Helping Hand Spiced Maple Hand Cream. I thought this was really nice. I love that the actual product is kind of a nice pinky color. It's really cute, perfect for fall. The scent is really nice. Just as you're using your hands, you can kind of get a whiff of it, and so I think it's really smoothing on the hand. It smells nice, it's got good quality, and I love that it has a little keychain on the top. So you can definitely just clip it onto the strap of your purse or just whatever you want to take it with, and that way you can just have it with you wherever you are. Especially as we're going into the colder seasons and our hands tend to be more dry, it's definitely a good product to have on hand. And of course, the last product from this collection that we'll take a look at was the eyeshadow palette. I absolutely love the packaging on this. I think it is so pretty. It is stunning. It is definitely a larger palette, so it's not as good for maybe travel reason, but I definitely think it's perfect for the season and for fall, and it definitely, the colors in it are perfect for any fall look that you want to put together. I love that it is spiral bound. I think that is such a cool way to create a palette. I think it definitely makes it really easy just to kind of flip the front of it to the back, and that way you can just either use the mirror if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just put it back there, and then you've got all of your products easily accessible. So I think that's a really cool way for them to have designed this palette, and I am in love with this color story. When I initially found this, I was on a Facebook video and I saw some people doing some swatches, and it was so stunning, and it looked like the embodiment of fall, and really in person it is. You know, sometimes when you see things online, it's not exactly how it appears, but this really is. It is so stunning. All of the shimmers and all of the mattes are so pigmented. They are so beautiful. This, like I said, is my first time ever using P. Louise product, and I was blown away by the quality of these products in this eyeshadow palette. I thought all of the shimmers were so stunning. I was especially impressed with this one, that Raindrop Romance. It was so pretty. It is so stunning on the eyes. Everything really just blended so well together. It created a nice cohesive look, even though we use all different color shades, from starting up here with the greens to the orange to more of these burgundy colors, that all of these fall vibes really just work together so well. There was so much cohesion in this palette and in the look that we created. All of those shades just blended together so well across the eyes and just created such a stunning look. So I was absolutely just in awe over the quality of these shimmers and these mattes and how well they apply on the skin. And I absolutely love these 4 shades over here, these perfect highlighter shades. We only got to play with these top 2 today, for our highlighter and for our inner corner and brow bone shade, but I thought that they were absolutely stunning. You can see just that shimmer and that glow from them. So really, this palette is absolutely stunning. I really think every single shade in here is a home run. It is so pretty, and I cannot wait to create more looks with this palette and with this collection overall. Thank you so much for taking your time today to go through the P. Louise Fall Box with me. I had so much fun going through each piece of this collection and just taking a look at the quality and the colors of each one. I was absolutely blown away by this box. And fall is just one of my favorite seasons. I absolutely love this time of year, and so it is so cool to have a collection that perfectly captures just the feeling and the essence of this time of year. It is so beautiful, and all of the colors are just so amazing. So I really enjoyed going through this, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments below what your thoughts were of this collection. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see more makeup hauls and unboxings and tutorials, then please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to see you here again. Until next time, let's be kind to each other, beautiful to ourselves, and never afraid to make up the rules.